My name is Julian Powell, and my video essay is titled Phases of the Day. Here, I will present three images, one mediated, one direct, and one mental. These images are ones that have great significance to me and have formed long-lasting memories. Memories are often connected to emotions, so to describe the significance of each memory, for each, I have written a short piece that should evoke the emotion related to these images that are now memories. Mediated images. A mediated image refers to those that are seen through some form of media, which may be print media or digital media. These are usually created with a predetermined or anticipated impact on the viewer. Sunrise. Smile, little me. Out of one into another. Her little mind went as she watched her mother pour tea from one cup to a next cup repeatedly, making sure that the tea was just the right temperature for her 5-year-old observer. She found the deed exciting and hoped to be coordinated enough one day to pour piping hot mint tea from one cup to another as skillfully as her mother did. The aromas of the tea and her breakfast penetrated her nose. The show started, and her attention shifted from her mother to the television. She watched as intently as any 5-year-old could. Smiling, the small girl clutches the handle of her cup as if her life depended on it. Joy, or maybe not such a strong feeling, something more subtle, something more peaceful. Yes, peace. Peace plastered all over her face and swimming around her little heart. She felt safe. She felt home. The way a viewer perceives a mediated image and interprets the intended message is dependent on various factors. In many cases, mediated images aim and should aim to add to a memory you already have or create a new one. Creating a new memory is not very easy, so adding to one is less challenging. So, in this case, the above image represents or is connected to a significant memory because it built on my existing childhood memory of drinking a warm cup of my favorite tea at 7 a.m. every morning before school. When I remember my mornings before scurrying off to get to school, I remember this beautifully designed morning talk show logo almost instantly. Apart from the fact that this talk show would play pretty much every morning in my home, the way the logo is designed with a familiar and relatable warmth, even a 5-year-old, me at 5, could have found it memorable. Direct image. This is an image that is not experienced as a result of media. Images seen or perceived by the biological process of seeing and not designed with any intended message. Memories are formed by direct messages as a result of how you perceive them and the emotions they are connected to. Midday, the river with friends. COVID was a hard time for all of us, some more than others. It wasn't quarantine, it was prison. The constant and increasingly vicious bickering of her fellow inmates, who tend to go by the alias family, made it harder to stay sane within the never changing walls. It had been a year in solitary confinement, a year of fear and uncertainty, a year devoid of happiness. And as we all slowly began to lose hope, forcing ourselves to accept the reality that may forever be our reality, for her, a silver lining was coming. Regardless of her chronic illness, which was the grounds by which she was tried and sentenced to safety, she would be temporarily released. That afternoon, she would see her friends again, enjoy the sun with them, swim in a river not made of her own tears, a river of beautiful, natural, purifying water that would magically make COVID go away. Well, even just for a day. Just for that day, the bickering couldn't hurt her, the walls couldn't suffocate her, and the loud voices were so much nicer. This is an image of my first time socializing during COVID. Every time I look at it, I feel the joy of hope, freedom, and friendship. The image by itself is rather beautiful but void of intended meaning. It wasn't mediated or tailored with a specific message for me to decipher, but has retained significant value in my life and enough to become a memory because of the emotions I associate with it. When I look at this image, my brain does not only perceive it to be a nice picture of a river, but a picture of a river that I cannot forget. Mental image. A mental image refers to an image that resides within your mind but was not perceived by your physical eyes or by the biological process of seeing. An example of this being a dream, thought, or fantasy. Nighttime, the sleep paralysis demon. It's night, 3:33 a.m. exactly. You're awoken by the heavy breathing of nothing. The dark stares you dead in the eye, except it's not just the dark, it's something more. As you feel your heart rate increase, fear washes over you. You try to move because you feel you must escape, but cannot. For that moment, you are at the mercy of the monster in the dark. Slowly, it edges towards you, as if to taunt you. Then you wake up. You open your eyes to your barely lit room with similar fear. Except this time, you know it wasn't real. But the eyes, its form, its grin, the fear, and the inability to escape, you remember it all too well. You remember it forever. The memory that represents nighttime for me is from an episode of sleep paralysis. This was my first time experiencing it, which made it the worst one. The image you see before you is one that I didn't see with my physical eyes, but I can describe well enough to find examples of it on Google. This image has immeasurable significance to me as it is connected to chilling fear, even though it is an image that my own mind concocted. The memory of what this shadow monster or sleep paralysis demon looks like standing in the corner of my room is one that I may never forget.